Hello, today in our series on Africa's business leaders, we're in conversation with Novi Letsoela. Now, she's the CEO and Managing Director of Buletsa Trading. Buletsa Trading is a 100% woman-owned engineering and maintenance service provider, specializing in plant maintenance and steel fabrication. Under her leadership, the company has become a preferred partner in the mining and manufacturing industries, known for its commitment to quality and innovation. Novi's journey from her early days in the business world to leading a successful enterprise is both inspiring and insightful. Novi, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the BRICS Africa Channel.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Peter. It's very nice to have you this afternoon.
It's so good to be able to talk to somebody that has really stuck to it and has achieved amazing things. But let's go back to the beginning. And I just wonder what inspired you to get into engineering. Was that something you already had your eyes on at high school?
It was a very fascinating journey for me, I must say. It actually started way back in primary school, if I were to just talking about the career itself, because we had our main year, our maths teacher. He really encouraged us to move away from traditional jobs and do something different. So when I got to high school, that's when then I focused on the mathematics and science subjects. So that is then what landed me into engineering at WUSU, where I studied my mechanical engineering diploma.
So why mechanical engineering? There are many disciplines. What was it about mechanical engineering that you found interesting?
I think for me at the time, it was being able to see when you drive around, you see these structures that are standing, and you don't necessarily know that these are have been made by a human being. I mean, when you look at your pipes, the fans that come out, the shafts that you see in the mines. And yeah, so I think that's what really drove me to come to the mechanical engineering space.
So then you finished studying, and it was quite a journey to try and get your first job, wasn't it? Take us through that.
Yeah, it was just very, very difficult because not even to get my first job, to actually qualify, to get my practicals to qualify for my diploma. I came to Joburg because that's where one was looking for companies to do experimental training. And it was very difficult because every door you come to, there is a board written, no vacancy. And we would walk door to door, leave CVs, literally walk kilometers a day. And until ultimately someone said to me, there is a company in the Val, Eskom. So try and go there. So that's how my actually journey began officially. And I did my in-service training, I qualified, and I also worked for Eskom as a technician at the time. So that's where my journey started.
So you worked in the corporate environment. Did you always want to have a business of your own at some point, or were you quite happy at that time and that eventually business found you?
Uh, I was happy, but unfortunately, coming from a background of being raised by an entrepreneurial mom also had a very effect in me moving into my own business. And now, when the time came and I had young kids, and then I said, look, if it's difficult for me to be a working mom and raising kids, it was really taking a toll out of me. So I had to think differently, and that was the birth of Buletsa.
What values do you think that she taught you that you've carried through your adult life and your business life?
She taught me to be independent, resilient, and strong. And she also emphasized that it doesn't matter what you do, if you have a dream and you can achieve it. And I saw that because she would set small targets and say, when we sell this and achieve so and collect so much money, we can purchase a certain item. So those were the moments that we would celebrate because we could see it's possible, it was achievable. Even though my father was there, my father was a miner and later a contract worker. So contract workers, when it's raining, then there's no employment. So it was during those times that we could see the value in our mom being able to provide for the family as well.
So tell us then about Buletsa Trading. You must have seen something, an opportunity, and you decided this is the direction I'm going to go. What was that opportunity?
Yeah, like I said, being in corporate and working with a lot of different contractors, and I saw that there was a gap in the space of air pollution and specifically dust filtration management and containment. At the time, there were very few or almost no women-owned businesses in that space. So that is where I thought, look, this is what I have been doing because I've always worked in the ash plants. And I said, I'm going this way. This is where I'm going to take my chances and do it better.
Was it difficult to establish the business? You often hear of stories, people have great ideas, but they just, for one reason or another, whether it's capital, whether it's getting the right support, just struggle to get the business off the ground. Was it a challenge for you?
Look, Peter, on paper, it's easy to start a business, but it goes beyond just registering the business and carry the paper. There is a lot of challenges, especially as a startup. They go beyond if you mean financial support you are not credit worthy because you don't have credibility. So you can't go and borrow money. Even with the grants that are available from the state, from the government, it's difficult because you need to build a financial profile. So if you don't have that, those are the challenges that one faces in the beginning. Again, you need a very strong support because you can't run a business alone. And you've seen many people, they want to isolate themselves because it becomes my business. However, I have managed to surround myself with people who have got expertise in the field and even the support system. Because when we start a business, you think only about the product. You forget about the hiring, the employees, and all these things that go within the business, the compliance which goes within the business. So those are the things that hinder businesses from growth. And I have managed to overcome those by really getting people that are expertise in the field.
And so you must have learned, I mean, it's one thing to study engineering and to be good at it practically. It's another whole game to be a business owner and a business manager. I guess there were new skills that you had to learn quite quickly.
Yes, definitely. I must say I'm grateful because of the networks that I had at the early in the business, and I was fortunate to become a beneficiary of the 10,000 Women Gives Entrepreneurship course, and that was the highlight for me because that is where I learned the business skills and I gained my confidence and I could engage at different levels with different people. So networks are very, very key in one's growth and also mentorship that also helped me a lot. So I was fortunate in that sense. And I'm also open and ready to learn every time there is something that I need to learn. I'm not scared to go and ask for help.
You said, as we started this conversation, that there weren't many women-owned businesses. And I guess being a woman, a Black woman, there must have been challenges that you faced and maybe even face now, uh, because this has been a male-dominated environment for decades and decades. Tell us about those challenges and how have you been able to overcome them?
Yeah, for me, navigating the male-dominated industry, is never easy for a woman. But just like many others, I have also managed to succeed to this level. I think one of the challenges for me that I faced was that we stereotype, and you of that. It's always believed that a woman is not capable, especially in this technical field. So one has to prove themselves beyond, which is where now my engineering skills came in to help me overcome that, because I knew what I was doing and I knew exactly how to approach and solve problems. And then again, the other one I would also say what is a challenge is that we know men always like prefer to work with men. But again, as I said, building relationships is one of the things that is one of the currencies that one can never do without. So it was the very same men that supported me, that helped me and guided me in the industry. So yeah, I just had to maneuver through relationships and also ensuring that my credibility is maintained whenever I do a project. We execute it good quality, successfully, and on time. So then you build a good reputation. Then people start referencing you and you start to be recognized.
So you've been running the business for some time now. Take me through some of the things that you're most proud of that you've been able to achieve with the business.
Yeah. Uh, you know what, one thing that keeps me awake, or that keeps me going, is knowing that there is such a pool of people that I am able to provide for. It to me, it is an act of selflessness, being able to have, I have over 50 employees, and every time they are looking up to me to say, through Buletsa, we are able to survive. That's number one for me. Number two is being able to grow my staff and empower them and skill them to be able to do what they are doing. Because most of them, they came not knowing the technical skills that are required at Buletsa. But however, we have upscaled them, from assistant to artisan, and others from fitter to supervisors to managers. So we have developed a culture of empowering our employees. But what really makes me happy is being a woman, as a woman-owned company, is if one is looking 2 years back, with over 50 employees, we only had less than 5% women in our team. And today, I am very proud of the hard work that was put together with my team into ensuring that from a gender perspective, we are improving and we walk the talk. So I'm proud to say today, out of our team of over 50 employees, 20% is women. And we have also 42% of that is male, is youth. So I'm very, very excited to have grown the business in that.
Wow. It's a wonderful story that you're telling us and inspiring, actually. And one hopes that many people will learn from this. Um, when you qualified as an engineer, it was quite a while ago. And for sure, things have changed. It's evolved over time. I suppose that it continues to be a learning experience, and you and your business have had to evolve with the changes that have taken place around you.
Yes, definitely. We have, and what we have learned is that, like I was telling you, that you can't work in silos. So what we have done to ensure that Buletsa is maintaining its standard in the industry, we have partnered with strategic OEMs and to keep us abreast of the technology. So when we work with them, we know what is coming, we know what changes are there, and we can implement. Again, we have subscribed with some industry bodies like your Steel and Engineering Industry Federation. And also Buletsa is also a member of the National Association for Air Filtration. So it is in those partnerships that we are able to stay abreast of what is happening in the industry.
What are your strategic goals for Buletsa? What do you see in the next 5 years? Are there new areas of business, new products that you're looking at?
Yes, definitely. We are very excited about the growth of the company, diversifying, bringing new products, and also new services. We have already, together with my team, I think it was part of our goal setting meeting to identify the areas. And we are looking forward to grow into SADC and right through Africa.
Okay, so there definitely are young people, women in particular, that might be watching this conversation and are thinking, I want to be Novi. What advice, given what you've learned over time, would you give someone who's thinking about it? She may be an engineer right now, even at ESCOM or somewhere, and wants to take your path. What would you tell them? What's your advice to them?
Uh, uh, my advice is very simple. Identify the industry you want to go to and know your customers, your market. Over and above it, you need to have self-confidence. You need to have a very strong support system because there is a lot of rejection when you go out there. Again, remember, when you start a business, you don't have any reference except yourself. So you're gonna have to spend lots of times convincing people, creating and developing systems or documents. So it's gonna be a very exciting journey, and there is gonna be variable, little or no income at all. So they need to prepare themselves for those. But it's possible. It can be done by anyone who has got a vision and a dream. So because there are people like us and other people that came before us who held our hands and carried us through the tough times.
Work and life balance, that's often quite a thing, particularly for women. I know that you took a bit of time off to have your children, and then you came back into the workspace. Did that help to take a break and then come back? I know that a lot of women try and navigate everything, and being a mom, being the housekeeper, being at work. How has the work-life balance been for you over time?
Look, Peter, at the early stages of the business, it's very difficult. It is very difficult until you manage to get to build a sustainable business where you've got a strong support system. And then you are able to do all this work-life balance. However, it's very important as an entrepreneur because it's a very lonely space. It's very important to make that time irrespective go out, have a hobby, visit family and friends. Like me, I run. So I know my weekends are the weekends, the mornings is my time. It's me time. So I go and I do my running. And then I come back and I spend time with the kids also. So it's not easy in the beginning. However, one needs to work towards it because we work in a very stressful environment.
You are in engineering and particularly close to the mining environment. And so a lot of communities are dependent on the mines. I just wonder if you do a lot of things, initiatives maybe, where you engage with the communities, and I don't know if there's corporate social investment programs that your company is involved in to help the communities in which you're doing the work.
Yes, Peter. Where Buletsa has got presence in over 6 provinces now. And wherever we have our operations, we are involved in community empowerment in either way. The first one and the most prominent one is by employing the locals. So we invest in the people in the community. And depending again where we are, we do have CSIs where we would adopt or contribute to an NGO in the community or provide skills and training to some members of the community and youth.
This is the BRICS Africa Channel. So maybe a question I can ask you is the BRICS story, the BRICS grouping, something that you think about? Is that something that a business like yours is mindful of?
Yes, definitely. And I want to believe that most of us are excited about it. And if you can check, we all travel to China, we all travel to India to get our equipment and machinery. So with BRICS, we really believe that there's going to be more partnerships and there's going to be more industrialization coming into the country.
Novi, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much indeed for sharing your inspiring story with us right here on the BRICS Africa channel.
Thank you very much, Peter.